why should clothes restrict us? They should enable us and inform the things that we do. And the things that we do obviously inform who we are. My name is Tuyen Tran, and I'm a fashion designer. I just graduated from Parsons School of Design. My dad, he was a war veteran and he was a refugee. And the US at the time had a program where after the Vietnam War, they were sending refugees to the US to basically start a new life for their families. And I actually moved to the United States a couple of months after I was born. I grew up in Twin Falls, Idaho. So growing up, I didn't have the same experiences that my parents had, but I was always kind of instilled with the ideals that they had. I pursued fashion because I wanted to learn the mystery behind creating clothes, and I wanted to learn the craft of it. So this collection is called Assemble. It takes inspiration from the idea that clothing is assembled by people, by different hands. It's not just this image that we see so often in magazines. There's the trousers with these pocket welts that then adjust into straps. I like to play a lot with connecting lines and seams, so instead of traditional pockets, I try to see what else I can do with them, what other functions I can connect into them. What I think about sustainability is that it's just making things that last. Clothes are sustainable because it's almost impossible to degrade a shirt completely. You can always pass it on and on, or reuse it for something else, and that's something that I'm trying to pursue by obviously creating a garment that is as beautiful as I can make it, that'll encourage the wearer to love it for as long as possible, or at least sourcing fibers that can biodegrade harmlessly. I just find it so much easier to get all my sources locally, just because I can, go to the factory, or I can go to the button store and see it in real life. I try to design very hands-on. I like to, look at my designs. I like to feel them, and I like to converse with the people that I'm working with face to face. And obviously, working and sourcing local enables me to do that. I guess growing up in Idaho, there wasn't a huge Vietnamese community or really Asian community. So I did always kind of felt like an outsider, or at least like I knew I was an immigrant. So from that, I felt like I had to try a little bit harder than my peers. And I think in the long run that helped me out, because by constantly aiming for more, I was just basically aiming for the best that I could be. I think the cool thing about living in the US, and especially working in the US for fashion, is that for me, I don't have like a stereotypical image of the American wardrobe. It's very like mix and match. It's very full of different subcultures, and I find that very interesting. And the fact that I can work in fashion in that kind of environment, in this kind of free-for-all environment, is quite amazing. I think fashion, first and foremost, is this image. It's this very 2D portrayal of the trends that are happening now. But then what's fascinating about fashion, I think, is that underneath that two-dimensional image are these three-dimensional garments that are very sustainable, that can last a lifetime if you let them.